Hydrogen sulfide is one of the leading causes of workplace gas inhalation deaths in the United States, according to OSHA. And here's the detail that makes it so dangerous: the same gas that warns you with a rotten egg smell at low concentrations can shut off your sense of smell entirely at the exact concentration where it becomes lethal. Today, what hydrogen sulfide actually does to your body, and how to recognize the danger after your nose stops warning you. Welcome to Toolbox Talk TV. Industrial safety, one topic at a time, backed by real standards and real numbers. Today it's hydrogen sulfide, H₂S, across oil and gas, petrochemical, and fertilizer operations. Anywhere sour crude, natural gas, or sulfur-containing materials are present. Let's start with what this gas actually is. Hydrogen sulfide is a colorless gas, heavier than air, which means it collects in low-lying areas, pits, vaults, and confined spaces rather than dispersing upward. It occurs naturally alongside oil and gas extraction, and it's also produced in certain fertilizer and refining processes. At low concentrations, it smells like rotten eggs, which is genuinely useful, until concentrations rise. Here's the mechanism that makes this gas so uniquely dangerous. According to the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, your sense of smell becomes rapidly fatigued at higher concentrations and cannot be relied upon to warn you of continued exposure. In practical terms, as the concentration climbs into the dangerous range, your nose adapts and the smell seems to fade or disappear, right as the gas becomes more lethal, not less. Workers have been seriously injured or killed because they assumed a fading smell meant the gas was clearing, when the opposite was true. Let's talk about concentration thresholds, because the difference between safe and fatal happens across a surprisingly narrow range. NIOSH sets the immediately dangerous to life and health level, IDLH, at 100 parts per million. At concentrations in roughly the 500 to 700 parts per million range, exposure can cause loss of consciousness and respiratory failure within minutes. And according to OSHA's own guidance for oil and gas well operations, death can result from inhalation exposures of 700 to 1,000 parts per million. Separately, at concentrations above 40,000 parts per million, hydrogen sulfide also becomes a fire and explosion hazard, a completely different danger from the toxic exposure risk at much lower levels. This isn't a theoretical risk. In October 2024, the U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board launched an investigation into a fatal hydrogen sulfide release at a petroleum refinery in Deer Park, Texas. 2 contract workers died, and 13 additional workers were transported to local medical facilities. This is a recent, ongoing federal investigation, not a decades-old case study. Hydrogen sulfide incidents are still happening at process facilities today. So how do you actually protect against a gas your nose can't reliably warn you about? The answer is instrumentation, not your senses. A calibrated, continuously monitoring H₂S gas detector, either personal or area-based, is the primary control. Never smell, never visual cues, never assumption based on past clearance. In confined spaces or known H₂S prone areas, monitoring needs to be continuous throughout the task, not a single check before entry, exactly the same principle we covered in our confined space entry checklist video. Engineering controls come next: ventilation to prevent accumulation, and proper venting or flaring systems designed specifically for sour gas streams. Respiratory protection, specifically supplied air respirators or self-contained breathing apparatus for higher-risk tasks, is the last line of defense, not the first, the same hierarchy we've covered before on this channel for PPE selection generally. 3 mistakes worth naming directly. Mistake 1, relying on smell as a warning system. As we've covered, the smell can fade at the exact concentration where the gas becomes most dangerous. Treat a fading smell as a red flag, not reassurance. Mistake 2, treating H₂S monitoring as a one-time check instead of continuous surveillance, especially in confined spaces or during any task where conditions could change partway through. Mistake 3, underestimating low-lying areas. Because hydrogen sulfide is heavier than air, pits, trenches, and vaults can hold dangerous concentrations even when readings at standing height seem clear. Quick recap. Hydrogen sulfide smells like rotten eggs at low concentrations, but your sense of smell fails at exactly the concentration range where the gas becomes lethal. NIOSH sets the immediately dangerous level at 100 parts per million, with death possible from exposures in the 700 to 1000 parts per million range. Continuous instrumented monitoring, not your nose, is the only reliable warning system. That's hydrogen sulfide, the gas workers in oil and gas call the silent killer, and a real federal investigation into a fatal release is happening as recently as October 2024. Next video, we're covering hand and power tool safety, what fabricators and welders consistently get wrong with grinders, cutting wheels, and hand tools that cause more injuries than people expect. If you're finding these safety talk videos useful, please like this video and subscribe to Toolbox Talk TV so you don't miss the next one. And drop a comment, does your site use personal H₂S monitors, fixed area detectors, or both? I want to hear how it's actually set up where you work. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.